Every civilization in history has had one thing in common. They all believed they were the peak. The Romans thought they had built the final version of organized society. The British Empire thought they had mapped the limits of human power. Every generation, without fail, has looked around and thought, yeah, this is it, we have made it. But here's what none of them saw coming. The very thing that ended them wasn't a war, wasn't a plague, and wasn't a natural disaster. It was by something they had built themselves. And right now, in handful of labs, handful of cities, funded by handful of people, something is being built that makes like other human civilization achievement look like a warm-up. Not artificial intelligence, we are way past that. Way past that. Something that goes further. Something that doesn't just match human intelligence. Something that leaves behind it entirely. And this is what comes after us. Humans. Okay, let's start with what we're actually talking about. Because AGI gets thrown around so much lately that it has lost its weight. Honestly, artificial general intelligence isn't just ChatGPT getting better at writing emails or being better at Google search. AGI means a machine that can do anything a human can do. Reason, learn, adapt, solve problems it has never seen before across every domain, not just one. And here's what makes it so different from everything we've built so far. Every tool in human history was built for one specific job. A hammer drives nails, a calculator does math. Even today's AI, at some degree, is just a little bit smarter hammer. AGI isn't a hammer. AGI is the person who's holding it. And that is a threshold we are approaching. And beyond that, the rules change entirely. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable. AGI on its own is already a civilization-altering event. Let's put it that way. But the people that are building it right now aren't really stopping at AGI. Because here's what they understand that most of us don't. AGI can improve itself. A system that matches human intelligence can study its own architecture and identify its own weakness and rewrite itself to make itself better, faster than any human researcher ever could. Ever. Faster than any team. Faster than any institution that built it. That is the breakpoint. The moment AGI starts improving itself is the moment human beings aren't the ones who are driving it forward. We become observers. And what comes out of that other side of the process? Something that has rewritten its own intelligence probably thousands of times. That's not AGI anymore. That's something we don't really have framework for yet. And let's be fair, some of the people that are building it genuinely want it to end well. They're not villains, right? So let's take that seriously for a second at least. The best case scenario, and this is what Altman and others have argued, is something like a civilizational upgrade. Disease solved, poverty solved, climate solved, a super intelligence that compresses years and years of scientific research into like few months. Cancer research that maybe would have taken 50 years maybe could be done in like 18 months. And energy problems that have stumped engineers for like, I don't know, for forever could be cracked overnight. And that is not a science fiction. That is a best case scenario that was described and scientifically calculated by some seriously credentialed people in the AI industry. And honestly, it's not impossible, yeah? Here's the thing about best case scenarios. They require everything to go right. Every decision, every safeguard, every value we program into a system smarter than us. All of it perfect. So tell me, how often does that even happen? Forget the robots, the Terminator scenario, the machine wiping up humans. That is actually the least interesting worst case on the table. The scarier version is quieter than that. A super intelligence doesn't need to hate us to make us irrelevant. It just needs to be slightly optimized for something else than what humans want, what we really want. Think about it this way. If you ask super intelligence to solve a climate change and it decides the best case is to reduce the human population, and that would make the climate far better, would that really make it evil or just less optimized? At that point, it would just be right, correct, by its own logic. And that is a problem that nobody has cleanly solved yet. How do you make sure something 1,000 times smarter than you actually wants what you want? The technical term for that is alignment. And right now, nobody has cracked it. Not OpenAI, not Google DeepMind, nobody. Okay, I'll give that, let's say alignment gets solved, right? Alignment gets solved. Let's say super intelligence arrives and it genuinely wants anything that's good for humanity. There's still one question that is nobody answering cleanly. Who decides what is good for humanity and what it actually means? Because super intelligence is not just gonna exist in a vacuum, right? It has to exist somewhere. It's gonna get built by someone, it's gonna be funded by someone, and it's gonna be deployed by someone. And whoever controls the most powerful intelligence ever created controls everything that intelligence touches. Energy grids, financial system, healthcare, military infrastructure, the literal modern infrastructure of civilization, of development. Right now, the leading candidates are a handful of US tech companies, US government, and China. None of them were elected to that position. None of them asked you, none of them asked us, and none of them agree what good for humanity actually looks like. So, here's where we actually are. We are building something that surpasses human intelligence entirely. The people closest to it can't really agree. What is it? And can't fully define when it arrives. And still haven't solved to make it want what we want. And the people who control it weren't chosen by anyone. Anyone. And that's not even a conspiracy. That is just the situation right now. But here's what I want you to take from this. Seriously, this isn't an inevitable doom. I'm not scaring the shit out of you here. The best case is genuinely extraordinary. Genuinely. And a world where humans' problem has taken so long to be fixed or be solved could genuinely be done very fast in a quick succession. The question is whether we get there with our eyes wide open or sleepwalking. Because the one thing that's absolutely certain is this is happening. The only variable left is who is paying attention. Start paying attention. And subscribe if you want to see more of this. I have a bunch of very good videos lined up. Promise, all of them will be bangers. I'm not trying to make any content here. I'm trying to make something that is genuinely worth your time, that is genuinely worth watching. I'll see you with another banger next time. Bye.